Hello and welcome back to another video about Defiance, the new free-to-play but buy-to-play MMO from Trion, brought to you by MMO Play. Today we're taking a look at both PvP and PvE, so co-op and competitive. First things first, we're going to do a competitive map. There does seem to be an in-game voice chat. I did not seem to see anywhere where you can rebind it or change settings. I looked in the audio settings. Maybe you have to actually be in a competitive map first, but if you're not a fan of having to deal with voice chat in-game, you might want to see if you can close that down. I couldn't figure it out. This is is this an 8x? There are two maps I currently have access to, 6 vs 6 and 8 vs 8. Yeah, when you zone in, you pick one loadout and you go with it, you can switch loadouts between deaths. This loadout here has shotgun and assault rifle. I've been using Blur, which is the run speed boost. It also lets me do increased melee damage and increased damage to shields while I'm boosted. And you do have your grenade, which is on a bit of a cooldown. I think mine's like 30 seconds, and it's a stun too. So right now my shotgun is a fire. This guy is a stealth. You can see he does leave a ghost, but you're not necessarily there. So there he's gone. It is a race to 20. 20 kills wins. Quick apology. I may enjoy shooters. I might even play a lot of them. I'm not good at them. I'm terrible at aiming. And here's my Blur. You can see I run 50% faster, and you can sprint while doing it, and you do extra melee damage.
Shotgun in the back?
So there we go. I hit the guy right there. I punched him with the shotty, and then I shot him in the head. I got one. Me and another guy got another, and then the third. That effect right there was the canker weapons. Those are dots that when you die, you get bugs spawn. Those are kind of cool. I seem to see a lot of people in PvP using either the shotgun for close range, just destruction, or the canker weapons for some dots. The dots seem to be pretty effective because they keep doing damage after they leave. You do die really fast in PvP.
There's everybody behind me all the time.
Think of that guy. I hit him just a few times, and my weapon is pretty low end. It is I think this is a green shotgun, and there's obviously blue and purple for the traditional cons. Also for ego rating, which is kind of your level-ish. I'm 246. The weapon requires an ego rating of like 120. But that doesn't mean too much. That isn't quite like World of Warcraft, where you're comparing a max level to like a half-level character.
Jeez, man. Apparently shotguns are the way to go.
And shotguns do amazing damage at close range, but at the same time, pretty exposed. One advantage I like about shotguns is the fact that I'm terrible at aiming, and you don't really have to aim too much. Problem is, I'm losing it for my team because I keep dying some right in melee range.
I can't sprint, I can't do anything.
And for whatever reason, you do start off with that little electrocution graphic when you zone in. It never seemed to affect me, but another player was talking about how it was hurting him. The queue time for these matches was less than a minute. Got in. You do get key codes, which you use to open up the lockboxes. The tier 4 lockbox will get you at least a blue item and a handful of greens. You can also purchase for microtransactions. 400 points will get you a tier 4, which is $5. I notice if I'm playing a lot of game, I can unlock a tier 4 lockbox a couple a day, maybe. This is a third-person shooter, but it is not cover-based. There's no... I didn't see an way to hug cover like you can in like Mass Effect. There is an alt for dodge. And there you go. You can see that one key rune or key code. Some XP. I didn't do so hot there. I cost my team. Yeah, I'm terrible. How about competitive? Or co-op? Co-op's better, because I don't have to worry about people coming up from behind me. So this is the first co-op map. It's the only one I have access to currently. You can swap your loadouts, which I do often. I actually use 4 different guns pretty regularly. You only have 2 in your loadout, and I have 2 loadouts. So you'll see me zoning in and out of that quickly, pretty often. This is a sniper rifle. This has an add-on. This add-on actually added this aiming reticule. So as you're adding on mods to your weapons, it does change some of the functionality of the weapon. This didn't zoom in as much, didn't have all this little information. It has helped me aim a little bit better, but not too much. This is our grenade launcher. This one has a special grenade launcher. I like this one. You shoot all your grenades, and then you hit R to blast them off. So you can kind of set a trap with that. The other one I had before, they just were on a little bit of a delay. They were like normal grenades. So this one actually has a detonator attached to it. Really cool. The more I'm playing the game, the more I'm enjoying the variety of weapons in the game. Even two of the same weapon, they'll function differently sometimes. I have assault rifles. This one's a full automatic. I just hold it down. There's my healing weapon. The assault rifle, I can hold it down and it just goes full auto. I've some that do higher damage, but they're semi-auto. I have to keep clicking. This shotgun actually is an automatic too. You can hold it down and it'll keep on shooting for me. It also does fire damage. You can get some to do electric damage. So there's a lot of variety in how the weapons work. Even if I have two shotguns, they might operate differently. One of my sort of complaints early on was the gunplay in this game seemed mediocre. But after you start playing more, you see a lot of variety in the different types of weapons, and it gets kind of enjoyable. In fact, the more I play this game, the more I like it. Also, in co-op, Trion was smart enough to add lots of refill areas. Or I'm going to swap loadouts here. So you can keep your weapons topped off. You're not constantly going, I'm out of ammo. Those red beams mean there are turrets. Do not get in range. They hurt. My sniper rifle does electricity damage, so you can see it'll put like an electric dot on them. I do have a canker weapon, but I seem to have lost my blue one, so I have a white one. I don't use that too often. It's good against big group events that like the Hellbug, Matriarch, or whatever it's called. The dot will actually do a lot of damage. But this time we're fighting mutants. Come over here, you turn off the turrets. For the most part, the game, it kind of has a Trinity system where there is healing, there are ways to make yourself a little more defensive, and then there's obviously plenty of DPS. But really, it's a little more self-reliant than your traditional MMO with a Trinity system. I mentioned that the Trinity does not exist in this game, and then right afterwards, maybe half an hour of gameplay after I made the last video, I found a healing weapon. That's the electric weapon. But for the most part, you're not going to be just a pure healing class like you would in World of Warcraft. I have a weapon that can heal, but really people can avoid most damage. In fact, in these dungeons, a lot of the moves are one-shot moves, or pretty darn close to it. So you're not going to be healing people too often. And you're not going to be tanking too often. You're going to be dodging out of big hits, you're going to be using terrain to your advantage. So it's a lot more like Guild Wars, too, in that sense. You can do some healing, you can do some tanking, but for the most part, you're either doing damage, avoiding damage, or kind of supporting a little bit. You're not really doing your traditional tank heal DPS like you would in other MMOs. There are 4 active abilities. I so far found I like Blur the most, which is a 50% run speed. It also lets me do full damage against shields, otherwise you just do partial damage against people's shields. And some of my perks let me do increased melee damage while I'm blurring too, so I can smack someone harder with my shotguns. When I was doing PvP, when I would come up to someone, I'd hit him in the head with my shotty, and then I'd shoot him and kill him. That match I showed off, though, that one didn't work out so well. I think I was actually using my PvE perks, which included, like, increased drop rate, so Magic Find, basically. Imagine trying to use Magic Find in arenas in Diablo 3, assuming arenas exist yet. And for the healing weapon, you have, instead of a zoom like you do in most weapons, the right click is the heal, so you have 2 different functions. And also, instead of rezzing or having the respawn, there is actually a respawn. You can hit X to release. But you can see you can actually come up and just get your partners up. You don't need a special weapon to do it. I don't need a defibrillator like I would in some modern military shooters. And the use on it's pretty fast. I can get someone pretty quickly. If you do get hit while you're doing it, though, or using any item for that matter, you'll get interrupted. There is a decent amount of trash in this game. It's not quite... I think DCUO was the game I'm thinking of that had almost no trash in dungeons. It was pretty much you just go in there, do a couple of pulls, and then boom, you're there. This game is a lot more, I would call it trash mobs, but it's not unbearable. I think this entire dungeon took 15 minutes, 10 minutes maybe. So it's even faster paced than a game like Neverwinter, which is coming out soon. Here we got 2 elite guys. These guys use chain gun style weapons. All you gotta do is just stay to the side of them, don't get in front. And they turn very slowly. Use my rocket launcher, although I think I'm missing quite a bit. The rocket launcher does have physics, so it does kind of drop and makes it a little harder to aim for people that are bad at aiming. Although the rockets do stick, they are sticky grenades. Rockets. I keep calling it rockets or grenades. I have a rocket launcher, but I don't use it. Here's a sniper rifle. I think the guy with the helmet right there doesn't take full damage to headshot, so I wasn't trying to headshot him. I was just trying to zap him from the side. You can see how slowly he turned, though.
Got it. All security protocol files are removed. Great work. Let's keep searching for survivors.
A lot of drops in this game. You can get script, which is the money. Also, you can get ammo, which is kind of nice in the middle of a fight. And then, of course, you can get items, which few of them dropped this game, or this competitive map. One of the nice things is the fact that since there's not a true level system in this game, if you've been playing for a few weeks, couple months, and you got a friend that just joins you and starts playing, you can go back and do this map, and it really doesn't hurt them or you at all. Think about a game like Warcraft. If I'm level, was it 90 or 95 is the max now, and take someone to Scarlet Monastery, chances are they're going to get very little XP because I'm going to be so much higher level than everything. A lot of MMOs, in fact, if the mobs are quote-unquote gray to you, which is, you know, impossible to hurt you, basically, they actually won't give you anything. That's how most games work. This one, no level system, none of that. So it kind of deals with the level disparity that a lot of MMOs have to deal with. Really nice for if you're inviting friends into the game later into it. If you've been enjoying Defiance and someone sees a sci-fi series come out in a week or two and goes, hey, that looks like cool, I want to play the game. Just go ahead and get them in a group and start messing around with them. So even though my first impressions of the game were it kind of made me think, meh, there seems to be a lot of really nice mechanics that Trion's implemented that they're deceptive at first, because for one, it doesn't really hold your hand. You kind of have to figure out a lot of it by yourself. I still think the UI could use some work, and it could make it a little easier to navigate and learn some of the systems in the game, but just trial and error, you can play and figure a lot of it out. The hardest one for me was actually learning how to exit the game. You'd have to escape, go to your menu, and then hit space, which would bring up the alternate menu, and then you can use that to find the exit menu. So I find the store, too, so you can buy your boosts or buy your packs. The loadouts using right now are kind of a little bit awkward. I have basically my limited ammo loadout, which is my sniper rifle and my rocket launcher, and then my more spammy loadout, which is right now the automatic shotgun and the healing weapon. Normally that's an automatic weapon, which got like 450 shots, shoots 25 shots a second for like 220-ish damage. Really nice normally, but it's not what I'm using. Also, I haven't bought an inventory boost yet, so I kind of salvage mid-combat. I'm probably hurting my potential damage a little bit by doing that. You have 15 inventory slots. That includes items in your inventory, even items you're using. And that also includes potential add-ons you're not equipped yet. So you run out of space a lot. Thankfully, this salvage matrix is going to take care of that. You just gotta pull it up a little bit. I wish there were options to make it so I automatically salvage all white items and like that. But those are kind of nitpicky. Not a lot of games have that kind of stuff. And it's all fun and games until you have a white weapon you actually want for a little while, and then it goes, and it salvages it. Got a good variety of monsters in this game. We have the big guys that take a lot of damage, and they do the miniguns that you don't want to be in front of. We have the shotgunners that sprint up. They actually will blur, too, and they'll come up and just light you up. I'm going to blur away probably soon. I'm getting hurt pretty hard here. Checking to see what I need to heal. It's a little hard to figure out who you can heal. You basically can't heal shields, and a lot of people seem to, if their shields run out, they're in trouble. So healing in this game doesn't seem too important, at least at this point. Maybe for really high-end co-op and you'll have someone that's spec'd really high into being tanky. That might be a possibility later on. This is the first co-op mission, so this is probably what you would call quote-unquote low-level. I'm trying to get a good position here. I'm using mostly my shotgun in here, but a little risky because I'm getting in front of everybody. There we go, I got the grenade, my grenade. Electrocutes, which kind of stuns everyone too. And I have a perk which does extra damage when they are knocked down, flinching, or knocked back. Let's get out of here. My shield's down, I took a little bit of health damage. Your shield does regenerate pretty quick, depends on what shield you're using. Swapping people again. Another small wish that was in this game was an ability to switch loadouts from a hotkey. That would be really nice too. I don't know if maybe it's not intended to switch loadouts like this, but I'm always a fan of having utility, which means being able to switch between weapons. In PvP, if I'm not playing a DPSer, I tend to play utility classes, so maybe that's just a personal preference. Go over here, switch back. And you can refill if you can find these crates mid-fight too, so that's handy. So if you're a real fan of a limited ammo weapon, you can just go back and refill. I'm not at any real risk of running out of ammo with the shotgun. It has 20 rounds per magazine and it has 250. Also, for your particular loadout, if you have a loadout loaded, you can actually top off your ammo even with a full magazine. So normally you can hold 250 from a shotgun, so 20 from my magazine, 230 normally. If I refill while I have that loadout, it actually goes to 220 and 250. Little trick for if you're trying to get the max out. That's actually why my grenade launcher is with my sniper rifle. Because when I'm PvEing, I use those two a lot because they're really good for soloing. So when I'll have 40 shots in my missile launcher or grenade launcher, you'll have 35 and then 5. I'll refill, get 5 more. Hey, it's another free round of ammo. Just a little tip for anyone that's playing the game. If you do switch loadouts though, it goes down to you lose your extra ones. So maybe that might be a bug that might get fixed later, I'm not sure. There's a lot of turrets ahead. Look at all that red beam. Also, this is not really a game where you should Rambo it up and try doing your own thing. You should work together as your team. Some of these guys, especially the elites, get pretty rough. And if you get in range of the turrets, you'll get hurt quick. So I'm going to blur over here to catch up with my team. I was actually back there with the AI. Ooh, hey! Then you might pull a couple of extra guys, which would be bad. And thankfully, I didn't wipe us there from being stupid. But again, stick with your team. All right, let's watch to the. I saw a handful of guys, so I wanted to have some AOE. I also wanted to have the sniper rifle. They seem to be pretty good at taking out turrets. You can kind of get line of sight where they can't see you. It's kind of hard to get a headshot in a group because the mobs keep flinching when they get hit. Although with my 75% extra damage to flinch, that it does I think 3,700 if they happen to be flinching or knocked down. I headshot them with my sniper rifle. Really handy. Try to sneak in close, carefully. Whoa! I better get out of here. My team isn't here. Eventually I'll learn. That's the wrong weapon. Uh-oh. Quit. Swap loadouts. Shotgun against these guys. So this shotgun is a lot more satisfying than the last one I had in the first video. I did mention the gunplay seemed a little weak to me early on. That was because I was using starting weapons. Your weapons don't get too much more powerful than they do when you first start. A little bit. Especially if you happen to get some higher tier, like purple weapons, but for the most part, what they have is just a better variety of items. Like I have the rocket launcher now that lets me hold off on the detonate until I'm ready, so it gives me a detonator. Just some new variety. Which is really kind of cool, because you can have newer players playing against experienced players. It doesn't make it so it's impossible to play when you first start the game. Switch between my UI. Do I have time to do salvage matrix? No. Do some rockets. Detonate. Boom. Lots of guys there. The one problem with the detonator is the fact that I do have to remember to use it, otherwise the guys just won't. I'll never do any damage. So if I put 2 on a guy that's almost dead and they don't detonate, I do no damage. And then I still have to reload, which takes time too.
Heads up, trouble's coming.
Oh, we got a big guy. And he's got a little sniper, assault rifle guy. I missed my assault rifle. I'm not using it this one though because I want to be able to heal just in case. I really don't think healing is necessary, at least in this map. Maybe in future ones it might be, so... Unless you really enjoy trying to heal, you might not need to worry about putting that in your loadout. I gotta deal with that. Hey, you can up to green too. It does seem like loot is individual. I'm not sure if everyone's sitting there discussing whether or not to get it. But it looks like everyone gets their own item, because everyone's sitting there grabbing stuff and then walked away, so... That's good. That means you don't have to worry about things like Path of Exile, where people are just ninjing all the items. And without a need-read pass system, you don't necessarily have everyone complaining about who's needing on stuff. Which also makes sense, since the game truly doesn't have a class system. It's kind of nice not having to worry about need-read pass, because someone would say, hey, you use rocket launchers. Like, well, that's just in this loadout. I have not actually seen a way to unlock a third or more loadouts. I'm not sure if it's something that's going to be added to the game later, microtransaction, or maybe I just need to skill up a little bit more. There's a bit of an achievement system which is in-game, and it looks like it's also by season, so it makes me wonder if new content will be unlocked as the seasons progress in the TV show. Kind of a good concept for a game that's mirroring a TV show. We'll check over here. Plenty of guys over here. And right there is the place to unlock the boss. Everyone has to stand in the circle and hold down E to get it going. Got a refill right here. There we go. You can see it beeps when you're in the circle. Kind of saying, you're in here, that means you're telling everyone you're ready. But, like Baldur's Gate, you must gather your party before venturing forth. Not necessarily my age showing that. You could get Baldur's Gate Enhanced, that's newish. Ooh. That hurt a little. Just gonna melee you down. Go back and refill again. I think we're pretty much clear, ready for the boss. Top off. Again, you can switch. I'll show you right here. You can see I got 5 and 35. I do that. Boom, 40. Now, the thing I did discover while I was waiting for everyone to come over here is if you top off again with the other weapon, you'll go back down. So I'm going to go ahead and swap right now. And if I go back, I'll be back at 5 and 35 again. So you can only do this, it seems like, with one weapon. Or one loadout. There's also an item here. If you collect... I heard someone say collect 3 of them, you get special items too. So I think there's one of these items in every co-op map. I only have access to the first one, though. There we go. There's my item. So I'm going to get in the circle. And then we'll start the big guy. Come on, guys. Do I have to do something? There we go. Hit E. Hit E. Do it. There we go. So now we're going to go and zone in here.
Are you afraid? Then we must...
Cutscenes, you see you can escape, but everyone has to escape. And... yeah, these guys aren't very friendly. So we got Mr. Freeze here, right? Behind cover, this guy hurts. Shouldn't be using the shotgun from range, so I'm just gonna... here, have some grenades. Didn't seem to do any damage to him. I don't know if the numbers maybe got blocked by this wall or what. Going down pretty fast, though. This will be a nice, easy, quick fight, right? We can all think that. Well, it wasn't necessarily all that difficult. It just wasn't as fast as you would think it was based on the first few seconds of damage. Like a lot of MMOs, there are, I guess you could call them, phases. For now, he's ticked off. He's going to go run and get some of his special juice. He's going to roid it up a little bit. And he's topped off again. And we got ads. Put him on fire just a touch. You can see the drop off on shotguns. It drops off damage pretty fast. There is a mod that lowers drop off a little bit, but ooh! When they're blurred and they hurt, they get the same bonus I do, so they can do full damage through shields. Just gonna smack you around with my shotgun. There is actually an add-on I can add to the shotgun to increase my melee damage, which I should with this build, with the blur build. Anyone need any heals? I got you healed up a little bit. This does have a limited range. It looks like you can shoot from far away, but it won't take any charge or do any damage when you're not in range. Just like the non-boss versions of these guys, they do turn slowly, so you can get around to them. You do have to use your terrain to your advantage on this map, because I can't remember if it's a one-shot or two-shot. This guy does kill fast. Do not take hits from him. Switch. Whoa, buddy. No. Leave me alone. I'm reloading. Alright, then someone else now. Alright, reload. Stay out of line of sight while reloading. No point in risking getting hit. Here. Here, have a grenade. Looks like bosses are immune to crowd control because that was electric shot. Oh, ow. So, all of my shields and most of my hit points. Oh, it was him. And you can self-res once. It's on a bit of a cooldown. You can't do it again. And also, there are some perks that let you do bonuses when you self-res too, so it's kind of handy. I figured there was a bad position to wait for someone to come get me, so I might as well just revive myself. Alright, got someone that shield was out. It's back full again. Where are you? Ah! They didn't. Don't face me! Getting low! Ow! Run away, run away, run away, run away! There we go. And that's the first co-op mission. At the end, you'll get this nice little bonus. Oh look, 5 key codes. You take 64 to get a tier 4 lockbox. And second in damage. First place schooled us. Thanks for watching. If you like the game, check it out. It's available on most distributors, including Green Man Gaming, Steam, all that lot. Like the content, stay tuned on more MMO Play. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned to the sci-fi series about this show. I'm looking forward to that.